Hi YouTube! It's Nell. I'm back for my second video. Thank you all for your wonderful, kind, sweet responses to my first. I'm overwhelmed. I'm touched and so appreciative of the wonderful things you had to say, and thank you all for liking and subscribing to my channel. I can't believe it. It's been a week and I'm just very overwhelmed. So thank you all. You've been great. I wanted to come back and do a second video with some of the things that I talked about in my first, particularly some of my finishes in recent years, and then take you through my Mill Hill Santa ornaments that I've finished, and then my stockings. Some of you asked to see how I finished those, so I will show you those. Before I do that, sorry, I just want to make sure I have it all ready. I wanted to do a few of the tags that have been going around. I kind of went through all the ones that I'm aware of, which there might be some that I'm missing, I hope not, but all the ones that I'm aware of I kind of listed in numerical order from when they were first put out. So the oldest two that I can find are the Tool Time tag that Joanne put out last year, and then the Know Your Needleworker tag by Nikki at Whimsidaisical. So I'm going to go through those really quickly before I get into the finishes, just so you all can get to know me a little bit more. And I figure I'll do this with my next few videos. I'll try to do a tag or two at the beginning really quickly. So the Tool Time tag. Hi Joanne, thank you. This is a great topic. What are my top 5 favorite tools for cross stitching? I'd say first are needles. I mentioned last time that I love bowen needles. I also really like gold-plated needles, but unfortunately the gold plating wears off so quickly that it's almost not worth the extra cash to buy them. Not that they're too terribly expensive, but they are more expensive than just regular needles. If any of you know of a gold-plated needle that the plating doesn't wear off as quickly, please tell me, because I love them. But anyway, so needles is probably number 1. Number 2 are my scissors, my embroidery scissors. I have 2 pairs, one that I use for my threads, for snipping my threads, and one that is specifically for trimming the perforated paper on my ornaments, because you need a really sharp pair of like embroidery type scissors that are really pointy and sharp to get close to the stitching without cutting the stitching, so you can be really precise, but once you use them to cut paper they don't work so well on thread. So I have a pair that's specifically for that. So scissors would be number 2. Number 3 would probably be my Q-snaps. I'm a Q-snap girl. I have 2 sizes. I will still use a hoop for small things, for when I'm working on, like, I'll use it for my Brooks Books Advent Animals projects, little tiny things that won't fit in my Q-snap, I'll still use a small hoop for, but I don't like the creases that hoops leave on fabric, and so unless it's really small and the creases will never actually go on the stitching, I won't use a hoop. So that's number 3, are my Q-snaps. Number 4 goes along with my Q-snaps, and that is my lap frame that I made out of PVC, and I use my Q-snap clamps on it, and I use that with some of my bigger projects. It's got my stocking that I'm currently working on is on my lap frame right now, and maybe in another video I can show you that, and if you're interested I can show you how to make one. I just used some of the ideas that have been floating around the blogosphere and here on YouTube, and then I kind of customized it for myself. So maybe I'll show you that sometime. And then number 5, I'm not really sure. That's really all you need to stitch, right? Needles, scissors, some kind of frame. You don't even need a frame. My lap stand, that's not really necessary. Maybe thread heaven for using on metallic floss, or my bobbins and bobbin boxes. I don't know. So that's my Tool Time tag, about the same as everyone else's, but there you go. And then the Know Your Needleworker tag. Like I said, this Nikki made this tag, and her channel is Whimsidaisical, and I'll try and post both of these channels down below. If I ever mention someone, I'll try really hard to remember to post their channel below so you can find them. So here we go. Number 1, where do you live? I live in the Midwest in the United States. I don't want to be too specific. I don't know, privacy issues. I'm not really that nervous. If any of you ever wanted to send me a letter or something, I'd be happy in a private message to give you my address, but I live in the Midwest in the United States, so it's hot and humid and very summertime here, and we're thankful for AC. Number 2, what do you do for a living? Right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I mentioned in my first video that my husband is in medical school and we have 2 little boys, a year and a half and 3 months. So I am a full-time mommy right now. Before I had children, I am a dance teacher. I told you I have my degree in classical, well, in dance and specifically classical ballet, and I'm a ballet teacher. Been teaching for quite a few years and I love it. Eventually I'll go back to it, but right now I'm just a mommy. No, I am a mom full-time and I love it. Do I have any children? Yes, I have 2 boys, like I said. Charlie and Henry are their names. Do I have any pets? I do not. I am allergic to all furry creatures. Tragic. I love cats. I love them. I like dogs. I like cats more, but I like dogs too. But I'm just deathly allergic to all of them and it's not worth it. Maybe someday I'll go and get all those expensive allergy shots so we can have a cat. But at this point, we have no pets. What are my other hobbies besides stitching? Lots of crafts. I'm a crafty person. My channel's Little Yellow House Crafts. I scrapbook. If you'd like to see some of that, I can show you sometime. I crochet. What else do I like to do? I love to dance, obviously. And I sing. I'm a classically trained soprano, so trained. I'm a classical soprano or a lyric soprano, and so I like to sing in choirs, and sometimes I sing solos in church and stuff, but I do like to sing. What is my favorite movie? Oh, this is too hard. No way. My husband and I love to watch movies together. We love going to the movies. My favorite movie universe right now is the Marvel universe, so I love the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy's up there. That one was so great. The music just made that whole movie. So I'd say maybe the Marvel movies, not all of them, but I like that whole universe. So just saw Avengers 2 a little while ago and that one was good. That and probably Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Oh gosh. I can't, I don't know. What's my favorite TV show? Ooh, this is easy. Very, very easy. It's Friends. I am a Friends junkie. Seen them, I don't even want to count how many times, and I can quote all 10 seasons. I love Friends. Also really love Alias. I like old TV shows. I don't really watch anything that's on now. I watch all this old stuff. Friends, Alias, Scrubs. We love Scrubs. With my husband being in medical school, that's one of our favorites. Favorite book? Little Women. That's been my favorite book ever since I was 12 and I read it for the first time. Little Women. And Emma by Jane Austen. I know everybody loves Pride and Prejudice, but I have a soft spot in my heart for Emma. What is your favorite music? Well, I'm a ballerina, so classical, ballet music. Country, I do like country. I like pop. Katy Perry, Taylor Swift are some favorites. Maroon 5. I really like their new song, Sugar. And my favorite music of this summer is Shut Up and Dance With Me, or Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon. That's the best song of the summer. We turn that on about once a day, and my 1.5-year-old and I dance around the living room. And then what one word best describes you? Positive. I'm a pretty happy person. I think life's a gift, and I have, you know, downer days just like everyone, but I'd like to think that I'm pretty positive and cheerful and friendly, and so I'd say positive. So there you go, that's the Know Your Needleworker tag. Let's get into the finishes, because I don't want this video to be super, super long. I'm not going to show you all of them because I don't have all of them. Some of them have been given away and stuff, but I will kind of show you some highlights, maybe. The first one I do not have with me. It's hanging in my parents' dining room, and it's the first big cross-stitch pattern or kit, it was a kit, that I ever attempted. And I'm self-taught, so I kind of found some small kits and taught myself to cross-stitch. And this one is the first big one. It's a Dimensions Gold. I believe it's still in print, and I just have the picture right here. It's called Wreath of All Seasons. This is what it looks like. So you can see it has, you know, all 4 seasons. It's, what do we have here? Spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I made this one, gave it to my mother a few years ago. It's the first big project I ever did. It's like 14 by 14, so it's pretty large. And it's also the first project I ever had framed. And so I framed that, and it's hanging in my parents' dining room. So I don't have that one with me, but that's kind of a highlight. Another one that I mentioned last video is the summer sampler from the Janlin Seasonal Samplers by Sandy Orton. And this is my summer sampler. And so you've all seen this before. I'll try and go up so you can see it. Sorry. There's the bottom. And I love it. I'm very proud of it. It took a long time for me, but like I said, I love them. Haven't done anything with this one yet because I'm waiting for all 4 to be finished so that they all are either framed to match or they're all made into wall hangings to match each other. So when I get done with those, I will do something with them all together. The next one is the first time I ever used linen. And it's also the first project I ever used specialty threads on. This one I did use the Weeks Dye Works and the Gentle Arts sampler thread. It's a Lizzie Kate, and I did this one years and years ago, and it's the first time I used all of those things, and I loved it. I love using them. I mentioned in my last video that I don't often use the specialty threads. I usually convert to DMC, but for this one I did. And this is the Boo Club series of Flip-Its, I think she calls them, by Lizzie Kate. This one is Spooky Treats. This one is Black Cat and Spider, so you can see. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you could see that first one. Here's Spooky Treats, Black Cat and Spider, Eek and Creepy. Sorry for the glare. Pumpkin and Fright. What is that, Brew? Yes. Brew and, oh gosh, Brew and Monster. And Ghost and Halloween. And you can do them all separately, obviously, or you can do them in one long piece, and that's the way I did it, and I made it into a wall hanging. So here is my Boo Club series by Lizzie Kate. You can see I made it into a wall hanging. I stitched along here with some yellow floss to kind of be an accent, and then I found this cute fabric, I think at Joann's, that kind of was in Halloween colors. So here's the tabs. I don't have it on the rod right now. And here we go. It's kind of wrinkled right now. It's been in storage since October. I don't let myself decorate for Halloween until October 1st because otherwise I would literally decorate in August. I love decorating for Halloween. So, pull back. It's big. But there you go. So that was kind of a landmark finish for me. First time using linen, first time using specialty threads, not working from a kit. I don't know. And that was quite a few years ago, but still really love that one. And that's kind of it for the big finishes that I'll show you right now. Let's go on to the Mill Hill Santas. So like I said, I've completed, I think 8 I counted, and I'm working on my 9th, and then I have like 20 more kits sitting in my stash waiting. I love these, I can't help myself. One thing I will say, if you want to see a stash video, I'd be happy to show you what I have in my stash. I'm not really a hoarder. I don't consider myself a hoarder, mostly because I don't buy charts unless I'm ready to kit them up. So I don't have a huge library of charts just sitting around waiting. All the charts I have floss, have fabric, and are ready to go. So I'd say I probably have 10 to 15 projects waiting to start, but I don't, and those include, that doesn't include my ornaments, but that includes kits, charts that I've kitted up myself, things from magazines that I've purchased the materials for that I'm planning on doing in the future. So I don't think that's that big of a stash, honestly, and I don't think I ever will be a huge stash hoarder. I'm too frugal and kind of guilt-ridden about it. I don't know. But I'd be happy to show you what I have in the future if you want to see it. But these are my Mill Hill ornaments that I've done so far, and they're all Santas. This first one is my most recent finish, and so I have not yet put the hanger on it. But this is from the Appalachian Santa series from 2007, and this is Blue Ridge Santa. And these are all beaded, just like all the Mill Hill ornaments. You see he's got a little raccoon friend there. So that's Blue Ridge Santa from the Appalachian series. This is also from the Appalachian Santas, and this is Allegheny Santa from the Allegheny Mountains. And this one does have a loop. This one I just think is so cute. He's got a little teddy bear in his sack, and he's carrying a little pine tree. So that's, oops, that's Allegheny Santa. And just so you, in case you're curious, I don't do anything special to the back. That's the back, and I just use hot glue to glue a little loop on the back, and it hangs. So that's Allegheny Santa. The next two are from, and this should become pretty apparent, I just grab whichever one is calling my name. I don't do them in order, and I don't do all three from the same year at once. I just kind of grab whatever I want. This one is from 2004, and these are the Mountaineer Santas. And this first one is Mount Rainier Santa. And I'm sure there's some of you watching who live near Mount Rainier. He's got a little purse that's stitched separately and then fixed on, like a lot of the Brooks books, angels and things. So that's Mount Rainier Santa. The next one's also from the Mountaineer Santa series, and this is Mount McKinley. Any of you live near Mount McKinley? I love him. I think his coat, jacket, and down here, I just think his outfit is beautiful. Mount McKinley Santa. I love his hiking boots. He's got a walking stick. So that's Mount McKinley. These next two are both from the Rocky Mountain Santa series, and this was in 2008. This first one is Pikes Peak. This is probably one of my favorites I've done so far, because of the bald eagle. I just think that's beautiful. So this is Pikes Peak Santa. That little bush with berries, that's really pretty. And this one's beard is adorable. This is Teton Santa. I have some good friends who live up near the Tetons. His beard is like this double loopy thing. It's just so precious. And he's there with a mountain goat. That's Teton Santa. Like I said, I have some good friends with a cabin up in Teton Valley. And it's beautiful up there. Oh my gosh. Cold, but beautiful. Okay, and then the last two are both from the Arctic Circle Santa series, and that was from 2009. So this first one is Greenland Santa. He's got a little sheep there. I love his sweater and little knit hat. That's Greenland Santa. And then this last one, I'm probably going to butcher this. Correct me, please. I think it's Nunavut or Nunavut Santa. I'm assuming it's right there. I'm assuming that's the name of a Native American, North American tribe. Like Inuit or Eskimo, is that correct? Nunavut? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what I would guess, because he's in this cute little parka that has a little fur hood. And then he's got a polar bear. And it's hard to see, I don't know if you can tell, but these white beads on the polar bear are pearlescent. And it's really pretty. It catches the light really nicely, but probably can't tell. So there you go, those are the ones I finished. I grabbed and I just started the Ireland Santa. I couldn't wait to do that one, so I went ahead and I started that one. And then, like I said, if you want me to take you through all of the Santas that I have sitting in my stash, waiting to be stitched up, there's a lot. There's like 20 more. And I don't even have all of them. There are some people out there who have all of them. I don't even have all of them yet. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you my stockings. So, these are all Dimensions Gold stockings, and I finished them all the same way, and I'll just kind of take you through. The first one is the one I made for my husband, and this one is called Winter's Twilight stocking, and I've seen some of you working on this as a full picture, but this is the stocking kit. I'm not even sure if this is in print anymore. This is Winter's Twilight. My husband Chris picked this one for the Victorian house. His parents at the time were living in a beautiful 100-year-old Victorian house. It's gorgeous. There you go. That's his. And then this is what the back looks like. So you can see here I've quilted the back. It's kind of wrinkled. I quilted the back and just chose some nice Christmassy fabric, blue with snowflakes on it. And I'll talk you through it once I've shown you all of them. So that's my husband's. And then mine is another Dimensions Gold Sweet Dreams stocking. This one is still available. My name is Janelle. I go by Nell. Some people call me Nell, some people call me Janelle, so whatever. And this is Sweet Dream stocking. It's really sweet. I love this one. There's metallic floss in the tree garland. It's just really beautiful. And I think it's really sweet. They put the Christmas star in the view outside the window along with all these snowflakes. There's a Christmas star right there. I just thought that was such a nice little touch. So that one's mine, and the backing is green with gold and black snowflakes. Again, it's quilted to make it a little sturdier and a little squishy. I like them that way. And then the last one that I'll show you, this is my son Charlie's stocking, and he's the oldest of the two of them. And this is Snowmen Gathering stocking. And I know that this one is still available as well. So it's got a snowman and a reindeer and some squirrels, and it's got a nuthatch and a chickadee and a cardinal, and it's really fun being in the Midwest because we have all those birds here. So that is Snowmen Gathering. And just a side note, see all these white things? Those are all French knots. Oh yes. I'm actually quite good at French knots. They don't bother me. I don't know, they're not difficult for me, so I didn't mind. But if you ever wanted to do this stocking and you hate French knots, it'd be really easy to replace them with some white beads. So I just went and did them because I'm pretty good at French knots. So there you go. And then the backing of his is a red with gold swirlies. So let me just talk you through how I do these really quickly. Maybe someday I'll do a tutorial when I finish my second son's, but for the time being, this is how I do it. Excuse me. When I'm finished stitching, I cut the stocking out of the Ada, leaving about a 1-inch margin all the way around, and I use some fusible interfacing, kind of a medium heavy weight interfacing to make it nice and stiff so it can stand up to the thickness of the back. And then I finish the top of the stitched portion with some bias tape to match. I just stitch that over and then I fold it over and stitch that down. So it finishes the top nicely, and that's how I do that. And then I cut out the fabric and the batting for the back. I have 2 layers of fabric, one on the inside and one on the outside with some batting in the middle. And I use some spray adhesive between the layers to kind of hold it all together while I run it through my machine to do the quilting. I just used a ruler, marked it on the inside fabric, and then ran that through my sewing machine one way and then the other way, and it went super fast. It was really easy, and it just makes it a little bit tactile and dimensional and a little bit puffy, and it just makes for, it gives it a nice weight so it doesn't feel so flimsy and like it's gonna rip. That was my problem with the felt. It just didn't feel like it was substantial enough. So that's what I did. I finished the top of the back just by folding it over twice and then stitching it down here and then again, here and then again close to the top to kind of make it nice and sturdy. And then I made a loop out of fabric, you know, just right sides together, sew up the side and then flip it inside out to make a nice little fabric loop that matches. I sewed that to the front right here, which this one, because it's just white here, it shows up and I'm not a huge fan. I've toyed with the idea of going back over this line with some red floss, like just in a back stitch all the way across to kind of hide that. I'm not sure if I will or not, but I haven't decided how much it bothers me. The other two you can't tell because they're stitching up there, so the thread was hidden nicely. But yeah, once that is sewn on, then I put the right sides together with, you know, the picture on the inside, and I sew all the way around the whole thing, back stitching plenty at both sides of the top. and then you flip the thing inside out. Oh, before you flip it inside out, you'll have like a 1-inch margin all the way around. I trim that down to about 1/4 of an inch, not much, because it's so sturdy, I'm not worried about it pulling through. So I trim that down to about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 5/8. No, it's about 1/4 of an inch, all the way around, and then I flip it right side out and iron it. And that's that. It's really not hard. I didn't have any sort of tutorial when I did it. I just figured it out on my own, and it turned out just fine. I've been really happy with them. I've had my husband's and mine for a few years now, and they've held up beautifully. And then I finished this one this past Christmas for my son's very first Christmas, and then hopefully we'll have my second son's done by this Christmas. So there you go. If you have any questions on how I did those, feel free to ask. Like I said, I could do a tutorial, but it's not very difficult. And yeah, there you go. That's all I wanted to do for this video. The tags and then some finishes and my stocking finishing technique. If you have any questions, please leave it down below and let me know what you'd like to see next. I will continue to do whip updates probably once a month. Is enough for me. With 2 little ones, there won't be much to show update wise if I try to do it more than once a month. So I'll do that. And then if you want to see how I made my lap frame, if you want to see my stash, just the ornaments or all of my stash, guilty pleasure, right? We love seeing each other's stash. Let me know. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for everything, and take care. Okay, bye.